Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. And I am here with Eloise Jane. And today I just wanted to celebrate the 26,000 subscriber update. We crossed that line a week ago, and I'm just so excited. But Ellie wants to also show you her fingernails. Very, very cute. What colors did you pick?
Pink and orange.
Very nice. Very nice. And how old are you?
5.
Nice. And what do you like to do?
I like to play with my sister Abby.
And do you do gymnastics at all?
Yes.
And ballet? You're not good at splits, are you?
I'm so good at splits, and I can do the splits so straight.
You are. You're so good at splits. And so I just wanted to basically jump in here for a few minutes and just say thank you all so much for your support and your encouragement with the subscribers. 26,000 is a great number. Hoping to jump that up a lot higher, a lot faster. But for today, it's a great time to celebrate that. I also just wanted to talk generically about sort of what's going on and give you all a little update. But again, do you want to talk first? What's in your mind today? Anything on your mind? What do you want to tell the world? Nothing? Are you a good artist?
Yeah.
Do you like to draw?
Yeah.
What do you like to draw?
My family.
Draw pictures of your family? That's a good one. And you draw butterflies sometimes, right? And rainbows?
Yeah.
And unicorns? And puppy dogs? Very nice. Well, I'm going to talk to my friends. Is there anything else you want to say before you go? You're welcome to stay there if you want. You want to stay? Do you want to go play? You want to go play? Okay. I love you, babe. See you in a little bit. So basically, just wanted to talk about the 26,000 subscriber update. Thanks for letting Ellie kick us off there. But basically, in a nutshell, I just wanted to talk about sort of where things are at. The channel is growing. You may have noticed it's been a little bit slower recently. That is unfortunate. I've been trying my best to just create as much content as I can as fast as I can. But with these kids, they're wonderful. They're beautiful. It's amazing to be able to spend time with them and to keep them safe. But it is a lot of work, and it takes a lot of time away from what I want to do with the channel. But I'm trying to find that balance. And some days you win, some days you lose, but I am trying to find that balance. But I want to talk a little bit about my personal life as well as the channel, so we'll start with the channel. I do have a lot of interviews. I've got some I've done, I have to publish, some I've got coming up. I've got 3 more this week and another 3 the next week. A lot of just crazy cool stuff, great stories. I appreciate so much so many people being able to step up and be willing to share their story. And if you're one of those people, please feel free to reach out to me. Add me on Facebook at Harmonic Tim. Again, my handle there on Facebook is Harmonic Tim, and all one word. And just reach out and let me know, that you're interested in sharing your story, and we'll get it set up. But there are some other things I'm doing with the channel in terms of monologues as well as some poetry I'm working on, which I think will make a big difference. It's amazing to me. I've said this before many times, but when you really sit down and let the scenario of what you've been through in deconversion, let it hit you like wave after wave, eventually it brings words to your mouth, to your mind, that express better and better what you've been through, who you are now, where you're going, how you heal, how you get to be more solid in your new identity post deconversion. And it takes time. It really takes time. And a lot of the benefit of that process is finding the words to talk about what you've been through and where you're going from here. And I'm trying to do that. And some of the poems I do will be shortish. Some of them are going to be longer. There's one coming up very shortly that's going to be on the longer side. I understand that it takes a while to listen through to some of those, and some of them you wouldn't just listen to it with, a bunch of people around or anything. You would save it for a time when it's going to be kind of quiet. But when you do have a chance to listen to some of those, and it is quiet, and you can just reflect and listen, sort of let it slowly hit. Part of the process, I think, of healing for a lot of us in these cases is going to be, hey, sweetie. Sure. Your hair, Chuck. Can't wait to see it. So part of the process is really going to be letting yourself have full permission to hurt, to reflect, to remember, to go back to where you were, to where you started from, to all the steps between where you started from and where you are now, and to really let it sink in all the different ways that this thing shaped you and changed you and molded you in its own image, and really in many ways hurt you. It really hurt you. It really changed you. It really took over your own thoughts and tried to be a mouthpiece for you, even though it should have let your autonomy flourish. It didn't. And in the process, it was very, very manipulative and very controlling. And when you finally get out of it and you get the words to describe it, you realize that you have a lot of tears. Maybe not literal tears, but proverbial tears for sure, to shed about what you've been through. And it takes a while. It takes a while to get in the mental mindset to let that really flow. And again, this isn't about extending the pain. This isn't about trying to remember every last thing that's ever happened to us, although sometimes that can be helpful. But it's really about trying to say, I have been on a long journey that in many ways I've not been embodied for. I've not been myself for. I've not really been awake. I'm just getting out of a coma. So what did I miss? And in many ways, that's what some of these poems are about. They're about trying to find the words to describe how you're doing. And for many of us, it's weird. You can go through life and sometimes realize you're not doing well, or you haven't, or maybe you are doing well on the surface, but you're not doing well deep down on the inside. And sometimes you can kind of wing that for a while. You can kind of keep going through the motions. We all do it. But eventually you do have to find a time to say, I need to face this head on. And deconversion is one of those events in life, and everything that came up to deconversion, and sometimes even what happens in the process and right after, where it just shakes you to your core. It absolutely shakes you to your core. And the more that you're able to find the words and to give yourself that freedom to just feel all the feels about what you've been through, the more that you'll eventually on the other side of that process find yourself, in my opinion, much healthier. It is cathartic to go through it. And some of the poems I'm working on, especially the longer ones, they're going to give that feeling, that sense of, okay, we're sitting down for a while. Like this is sitting down together, as it were, collectively in a group, but we're sitting down and we're talking this out. There's no time limit per se. There's no sense of you need to speak your piece and get this done in 100 words or less. This is like, let's let it all flow. Let's see where this goes. Let's do a stream of consciousness. Let's free verse it. Let's see where the emotions, let's see where the thought processes go. And I encourage you, I really do encourage you to do that, especially if you have a chance, for example, to take walks and just kind of talk it out either in your head or literally out loud. The risk of someone else seeing you talk to yourself and wonder if you're going crazy, but talk it out. Talk through it. And it's amazing to me, as I do that, sometimes things, whether I'm talking to myself or maybe leaving a message for a friend, sometimes things will come to the surface and I'm like, I didn't start this thought process or this message with the intention of going that direction. But here we are. It goes that direction. Your brain is connecting dots as you talk through things. Your brain is connecting dots that you didn't expect it to. And as you let it do that, and as you give it more and more of a platform, an open platform to just go where it will, as you reflect on your own life, you'll find in many cases, especially if you're willing to let the poetry come, not to try to develop poetry, not to become a poet in a technical sense, but to realize that there's poetry already inside your heart and your head. It's already there. And you're sort of just giving yourself the freedom to let it go, open up the floodgates. And it's amazing sometimes, but there's that verse, out of the overflow of the heart, the mouth speaks. And as much as that's a Bible verse, there is a truth to the sense that your heart can only take so much before eventually it just pours forth. It just comes out. It comes out and it can be beautiful. It can be cathartic. It can be intense. But it's necessary. It's necessary to think through where you've been to get to the next phase of this. And if you don't do it, if you don't get to the next phase of it, all these things are just sitting there on the surface or under the surface hurting you. So I really encourage you with that. And I hope that you will consider when you see a poem, me reading a poem that looks a little bit longer, you'll consider holding off on it until you've got a time, maybe driving in the car or just, in the quietness of an evening. Listen to it carefully. Listen to every word. Listen to it and let it wave after wave just wash over you and see where it takes you. I think some of you will say, this is helpful, and some of you will say this is helpful, and now I need to do it myself. I need to write my own poetry in a sense, and that process is truly remarkable. And I wish you just so much healing through it. I do want to also just mention in terms of the channel, I do have some small changes coming. I'm going to be talking a little bit about current events, not too much, but a little bit, probably in a poetic sense at times. But I think there's just too much going on in the world and in the country to not talk about it. And I hope that it's very helpful. It won't be the main bread and butter. Of course, the bread and butter of this channel is deconversion stories. It always will be. But there's a chance, I think, to talk about some parallels even. Some parallels between the religious trauma that we're all trying to heal from and some of the ongoing traumas that our country is being exposed to and it's being pushed on us. And so we're really in a spot of trying to both heal while we're being re-traumatized. It's kind of crazy. But I think you all know exactly that experience, whether you're talking about current events or just, your own life in the past where you try to heal from something as you're being wounded. It's a very weird experience, and it hurts to realize some of this trauma is just, it's not going to be an easy road. There's never going to be a sense of I'm settled, I'm done with it. It's going to be part of your personality. It's because your inside is just aching to talk it out, to talk it through. And when you can't do that for an extended period of time, or when you can do it, but you're being re-traumatized at the same time, it gets to you. It does something to you. So that is probably an appropriate segue to talk about my situation. I would again beg anyone that's able to help me to do so, to consider doing so. I'm still in a custody battle. It is crucial that my kids be protected. There is trauma upon trauma upon trauma that has happened and is honestly continuing to happen. And I need to do my best to protect them. I understand that this situation does keep me from publishing as often as I want to. And I'm sorry about that. I want to be on, producing a video every day, if not more than once a day. It's not in the cards at the moment, but that is for a very good reason. And I hope you will support me through this and to help me to get to a point where I can do everything I can to keep these kids safe. It's amazing when you see yourself in a spot where you can thrive, and especially when you can pass it on in some way to other people around you. But it's especially poignant and intense and beautiful when you can give your children a place of safety. And it's an especially painful thing when you're trying to give them a place of safety while there is trauma that's literally happening, that week or that month. You're just trying your best. And you can only do so much. There's only so many ways to try, and you can't always succeed. There's a lot of moving pieces to these things. But it is a truism that these kids are so beautiful, and they need to be in a place where they can thrive and feel safe at all times, safe in their minds, especially safe in their bodies. And boy, when you see a child thriving, when you see a child safe and safe and safe and safe, it just blows you away, and it gives you so much joy and so much hope. But it's also, it's traumatizing to me at the time, because as you're trying to protect them and keep them safe, they're literally facing other scenarios where they're being re-traumatized, literally. And it's horrific. It's a Twilight Zone experience to go through. It blows your mind that it should be so much simpler in this world to keep kids safe. And it should be so much more obvious when kids are being traumatized. And you just ache. You just ache and ache and ache. Like, what does it take to keep kids safe in this world? But I'm doing my best. I desperately need your support. If you can, all the ways to do so beneath this video. Hey, baby. Sure. Can you tell whoever's on the computer just 5 more minutes and then switch with you? Thanks, babe. Love you. It's just so important, so very important to keep kids safe and to let them know that you're doing your best, and to show up big every day for them, to give them as much support as you can. And I would just ask for you to partner with me if you can in that. The anxiety of seeing your kids go through some of this stuff, the anxiety as a parent is truly heart-wrenching. It's hard to sleep at night. You just live with this ache of like, I know what they've been through, which is more than enough already. and I know what could still happen. And you just sit there and you're incredulous. You think, how can this be? How can this be reality? But it is. It is reality, and you have to fight. You have to try, and you have to let them know that you're going to do your best to love on them and hope for better days ahead. I hope very much for better days ahead. But it's overwhelming right now. It's beyond overwhelming. And if there's anything that anyone is able to do, either small or larger, please feel free to reach out to me or use the methods that are below the video. I can't say thank you enough to those of you that can help me. It means the world to me. It really does. In terms of the future, I did just want to mention one of the questions that's come up recently is the big projects. Those of you that are new to the channel, that won't really make a big difference. Probably don't remember hearing me talk about that too much, but just to mention things like the Book of Enoch, other things, I am working on those. Some of those projects I've already got massive amounts done. The Book of Enoch project, I've probably got 200 pages of it done. But there's something that's critical in those projects, and that is very strong accuracy, as well as people that are better educated than me about it, speaking into it and saying, hey, you made a mistake here, or that's not quite right. I've put a pause on some of those projects, not because they're not near and dear to me or because I'm deciding not to do them. In many ways, I've already done a lot of them. But at the same time, there's so much misinformation. A lot of people, you get the sense that they basically go out and watch somebody's YouTube channel where they make assertions, and they just kind of take notes on it and then make their own YouTube video, and they don't have a way to check it. So it sounds rational. It sounds like that's probably true. Then they just, the algorithm feeds you more of the same. And so you end up basically in a spot where it becomes like a self-fulfilling prophecy. This all feels correct. And then you make your own video, but you need people that are going to disagree with that to speak to it, and people that are smarter than you to speak to it and say, this needs to be crafted a little bit more accurately, with more professionalism. That costs money, and that takes a lot of time. And so for some of these projects, for any of you that are frustrated that those aren't done, I am sorry. Again, life has taken a lot of turns, and for the last year, the kids were with me exclusively, and it was just a wonderful blessing to protect them, but it also took a lot of my time away from my work, and I basically had no choice in that matter. But at this point, I'm trying my best to do what I can. And again, they're front and center. They are head and shoulders my priority. And again, I desperately need some help. But I will get back to those projects, and I think when the time comes that it's ready for them to be published, they'll be more than worth it. It'll be amazing to see it. They'll be very worth it. And you'll see an amazing project. You'll think, wow, that's amazing. And when you see some of the people that have spoken into it and edited it, checked it, double checked, you'll think, okay, this isn't just Tim presenting some things because he watched 5 other YouTube videos and put it together. This sounds more like we've got some real academics involved. And that's important to me. I don't want to just put stuff together haphazardly and then hope it's accurate. Hope that in 10 years I'm not looking at it and saying, well, that's kind of cringe. I didn't really know what I was talking about. That's not what you want to do. I want to do this well. So that's on my heart. Beyond that, I just say again, my main focus is always to be able to help people share their stories. So please do reach out to me if you're able and you're ready and willing to share your story. I would love to have you on the channel, and we can plan something for a month or two from now. We can plan something for 6 to 12 months. We can just kind of roundtable it and talk about it and give you some ideas for how to prepare for it. But when the time comes, you share your story and you tell the world, why your worldview shifted. And that's a beautiful thing, because someone else might literally be able to look at what you've been through, and it will feel to them like you're their survival manual. And we've talked about that before. Other people have said it, where you go through all this stuff and then you tell people how you survived it. And to someone else who has no idea how to survive it, they're like, okay, if you went through it, I can do it. Let me pick up some tips from you. Let me pick up some bravery from you. And that helps. That helps a lot. So please do be thinking about that. When the time is right. Everyone's got to choose when the time is right. but when it's right, I would love to hear from you. So thank you all again for being supporters of the channel. Thank you for being with me through this. 26,000 is hopefully will be a much greater channel soon, but we're going to celebrate the small wins and the big wins. But thank you all so much for being part of this. I love you all so much. Thanks again. Have a great day.